Hey, welcome to Tuesdays Live. Mark Lemnansky here. I'm not sure if you're hearing me or not. I kind of heard Rich in the background saying, "I'm not getting any audio out there." Rich, am I on the air or am I not?
You are good, my friend.
I am good, but am I on the air? No. Yes. So anyway, good. I'm glad. Well, Happy New Year to everybody, and hope that you all had a great holiday and also Christmas season. And we're back. I'm kind of a bit rusty. I was telling Rich, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done the show, and I'm not really quite sure what to do next. No, I'm just kidding. Well, we're glad to have you with us tonight. We got a great show lined up for you. We have a repeat guest. He's actually coming back to try round two. His first appearance on the show was was a debacle, to be sure. It was his computer kept freezing on him, and we kept losing him. We pretty much spent the entire show going, there he is. Oh, we lost him. There he is. Oh, we lost him. That's pretty much what we did the whole show. So he has a new computer and he's back. We call him Ghostly Beard. His name is Patrick Talbot. He'll be joining us very shortly. So stand by for that. But right now, let me go ahead and remind you all that we are an interactive show. And what that means is pretty simple. We want you to interact with us on Twitter. And the way to do that is to just mention us at AllIndie, ALLINDIE. If you give us a mention on Twitter, it'll give you a shout out right here on the air. And we'll even show your tweet right here at the bottom of the screen for all the world to see. And that's lots of fun. You can even ask questions of our guests through that method as well. You can also chat with us now through our YouTube channel. And you can go over to our YouTube channel and watch the live stream, and you can chat with us right there as well. But we prefer the Twitter method whenever possible. All right, let me go ahead and introduce to you my partner in crime. And he is in the warmest place in Illinois. At a whopping 32 degrees and foggy, he says. They're expecting rain tonight, though. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Rich Wildman. Hey, Rich.
Hello, Mark. How are you today, buddy? You all rested up after your sixth vacation this year?
I am rested and I'm ready to go. I know, I am getting blamed for all the technical issues that have been happening today because I went on vacation.
Well, when you have all the money in the world, I guess you can go on as many vacations as you want, which you seem to do. I don't know. I mean, let's see. You went on this vacation. You went on a cruise. You went on
that was like
somewhere north. You went over to Europe. You've had like 7 or 8 vacations that you went on the past 12 months. So, it must be good being rich.
You're rich. I'm Mark.
No, I mean wealthy.
Yes. Well, having $50 in the bank goes a long way.
There are people who are just blessed like you, I guess.
Yeah, I must be. I wish it was the case that I had a lot of money and I could take those kind of vacations. But unfortunately, it helps that I work for an airline, so I can go away a lot of, fly for free a lot.
It can't hurt matters, that's for sure.
That is definitely for sure. So Happy New Year to you. How was your holiday?
Happy New Year to you as well. The holidays went very well. I mean, spent a lot of time with family. Enjoyed that very much. And, it's always fun seeing nieces. I have 2 nieces, by the way. It's always fun watching them get their Christmas presents and just enjoy them, spending time around them. And the rest of the family, of course, but predominantly, seeing them during the holidays is always a good time.
Yep, I agree. The holidays are always the best time to spend with your family anyway, regardless. Unfortunately, half of my family lives in Maryland, so we didn't get to spend time with them.
What did they do? Did they finally get smart and move out of Jersey?
Well, no. I live in Florida, remember? So it's my sister.
I know you do, but you were originally From
originally.
Jersey.
Yes, yeah. But when we moved down here, that was my sister lived with us, and then she got married, and her husband forced her, to move to Maryland.
Well, I guess there's a lot to be said for Maryland as opposed to Florida. There are two things I can think of immediately that would make me want to live in Maryland as opposed to Florida.
I can think of one right away. If you lived in Florida, you'd be too close to me. Okay, so
That's one.
Okay.
Second one is there are the hunting has to be better than in Florida. So
I'm not a hunter. Sorry.
Well, you can't win them all there, Mr. Wealthy Man.
As Michael Jackson used to say, I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right.
Yeah, hunting has nothing to do with fighting. That's a common misconception.
Depends what you're hunting.
No,
Today we're going to be hunting frog.
Well, we can hunt frog, but first I want to tell you about our friends over at Indie Music Bus who helped make this broadcast possible. I got to tell you, Walt and the guys over at the Indie Music Bus are just kicking butt and taking names at everything they do. What they do, if you're not familiar with them, is help indie artists with their social media. If you're an indie artist, you've got a lot to do. You've got a lot on your plate. Booking gigs, getting to those gigs, playing those gigs, getting the money, all that business stuff you got to do. Social media is something you shouldn't have to do alone, and Walt will help you do it. And guess what? He doesn't charge a dime for it. The Indie Music Bus. Check him out. That's the Indie Music Bus with Walt and the gang. We appreciate their support so we can continue supporting indie artists. It's what we love to do.
That's what we live to do. That's right.
Yeah, it is.
Walt is a great guy. Love him a lot. And another great guy is our guest who's joining us today. He's stayed awake really late to join us on the show tonight, and even went and invested in a new computer just so that he could be on the show and not freeze every 2 minutes. And he's a funny guy. He's a Frenchman. So for you American women out there who like men with French accents, you're going to love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Talbot, otherwise known as Ghostly Beard. Hey, Patrick. Oh,
hello, Mark. Hello, Rich. How are you tonight?
We're doing great. How about yourself? Oh, yeah, I love how he stops talking and then he starts moving the frog's mouth.
Well, that's lip syncing. There's a problem with it. Right now, there's a little bit of a sync problem, but as you can see, it's when I stop, it starts to. Well, anyway, you know, it's I'm here this time, and I'm really happy to be here. I wish everyone a happy New Year.
Yes, well, happy New Year to you as well. We're really glad to have you, and I think the sync problem comes between your brain and your hand. I don't think your hand is synced.
Probably probably that. It would help if I had a brain actually, but I'm a frog, so I have just a little one. Not that size does matter, as everyone knows, but it's some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. That's kind of awkward talking to a frog about that, but okay. I asked you off the air before, and but you didn't give me an answer. If the frog loses his voice, does he have a frog in his throat?
That's possible. He is actually capable of doing some You see that there I have one. I have some frog in my in my throat right now, and yeah, he does do some kind of weird sounds, and I'm not sure it can be heard. I'm trying to activate the sound thing, but yeah, usually is very talkative, so no problem.
He's yeah. Okay. It's amazing how he can talk without moving his lips, though.
Oh, he's very good. He's actually a ventriloquist, and I'm the puppet actually.
Yes, he's got his hand up your butt. I understand. All right.
does hurt, but that's like the show must go on.
He's all right. I'm trying to keep a serious face here. Looking at the frog.
I know.
All right.
That.
So,
Yeah.
You're in France, is that correct?
Nope. I'm in
actually,
Montreal, in Canada.
Yeah. But you're from. You're
Yes,
from France.
I'm French. I'm from France, from the south of France actually, and I've moved to Montreal about I don't know 12 years ago now. So yeah, and I'm Canadian as well now. Started from
That's awesome.
last year actually, since last year. Yeah.
And this time of the year, you're pretty brave for actually staying in Canada.
Well, we've had for sure we had a lot of snow lately, and it's been like 5 days of snow without interruption. So yeah, it's been quite a lot of that, but it stopped, and actually it's quite mild. It's like 0 degrees Celsius right now, so it's a quite agreeable temperature, really. So but before that it was like -20, -30, so and for me, coming from the south of France, the first time I actually saw some snow in my hometown, I was 24 years old. So yeah, it's quite a change for me.
Nice. What do you think of your prime minister, Trudeau?
Well, he's a sexy guy. I'm not sure he's very efficient, but we I mean, we don't have the monopoly of that, so that's fine. Yeah.
You think he was voted into office by all the women because he's sexy?
Well, yeah, and the fact that he was the son of another prime minister who actually was a little bit more competent, let's say, right? That's some like that. But you had your share in as presidents as well, in terms of families, right?
Let's not even talk about our president. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's not.
Okay. Only because, well, never mind. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to Carol, of course, who is tuned in today. She is tweeting from her personal Twitter account, FireDrake33. For anybody out there who would like to follow Carol, y'all know who she is. She is my former co-host of Twitter Tuesday Live, and she still works very hard behind the scenes of Tuesdays Live. Rich and I would not be here on the show if Carol wasn't doing the things that she does. So, hey, Carol. She says the frog has a very sexy voice.
Oh, that's nice. Well, she likes the frogs likes you too, so we can maybe arrange something. I don't know. But but she's in Australia, right?
She is.
Right.
You can always ship the frog there in.
I don't know. It might be dangerous. I'm not sure they will allow it at the border.
I was going to say customs might have a problem with that. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Look, we got to talk a little bit about your music, and we were able to play 3 of your songs last time, even though you weren't with your songs.
I know.
And the audience enjoyed them at that time. We got 3 new ones, and we're going to talk more about the music. But before we do, let's go ahead and actually play the first one.
Okay.
And then we're going to let Rich ask the first musical questions when we come back from the song.
right.
So the first one is called "Close Your Eyes," and tell us a little bit about it, and how it came to be.
Well, close your eyes is kind of my message anyway. It's it's also why I'm not showing my face. Is that basically I'm fed up of images being prominent when it comes to music. I think music comes through the ears and not through the eyes. So if you really want to enjoy music, just close your eyes and listen to it. But more personally, this story is a story of some kind of a story of redemption. It's how someone, I wouldn't say who, but someone is looking at his life and seeing all the mistakes and shit that he did in the past, and kind of regretting all that, and basically saying that, well, it's in the past, but at the same time, it's also about seeing what makes it worth it in the end. And in the end, what's worth it is to have the love of a child. So that's the message behind Close Your Eyes.
Okay, awesome. Well, I haven't heard this one yet, so this is going to be a first for me as well. Ladies and gentlemen, It is called "Close Your Eyes" by Ghostly Beard, right here on Tuesdays Live. Rich, take it away.
And in the end, you can't pretend you haven't wasted all those moments, faking laughter from the darkness of your heart. Yes, my friend, you'll have to face the consequences of your errors and your lies, betrayals and disguise. You better open your eyes now. Better open your eyes. But as the years go by, you find yourself more tangled in the threads of wearied bitterness. Look around, there's a reason why the doors have closed in front of you. You know they've thrown away their keys. You better open your eyes now. Better open your eyes. you can't stop looking in her eyes. Attractive, deadly emptiness. If there's a chance that all your failures be redeemed, you may find peace and quiet is hiding in the loving of a child. You better close your eyes now. Better close your eyes. You better close your eyes now. Better close your eyes.
Close Your Eyes by Ghostly Beard, or was it Pink Floyd? I haven't decided yet. It's very Pink Floydish, that song, especially the solo part of it. It was really pretty cool. I like Rich was saying before, it kind of takes you with it. It lets I was like, all I needed was like a little marijuana, and I would have been perfect. Right?
Yeah, well, that's the idea. You close your eyes and you make your own movie, basically. Yep.
Exactly. Yes. All right. I'm going to let Rich take it over for a little while so he can ask the hard question.
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Okay,
The hard
all right.
questions.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm just going to call you Ghostly Beard, GB, or whatever for short, because
Sure.
I don't want to out you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I know there's a whole mystique we're building up here and everything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So as Mark said, I'm going to ask you some of the hard questions, like when did you first get interested in music, and what brought about the want and need to start recording?
Right. Well, the urge to do some music actually came from. I came from a family where my parents were into classical music. They listened to classical music a lot, and also musicals. They loved that, and I was also a big fan of musical, and I still am actually. And I was maybe 8 years old, and I was. In love with Julie Andrews and The Sound of Music, so that was my universe at 8 years old. And but I also have older brothers, and they have 7 and 8 years old. They are 7 and 8 years older than me, so they were already into rock music, and they were listening to the Beatles and the Stones at the time. It was the 70s, so they were listening to that kind of thing. And I remember one day they made me listen to Led Zeppelin, Whole Lotta Love. And from The Sound of Music to that one, that was quite a shock for me. So basically, it kind of blew my mind, and it just opened me to all sorts of different sounds. And
Did they do it out of a sense of brotherly, sisterly, sibling torture, or was it just
no, they didn't attach me to a
kind
chair
of expand your musical tastes?
Yeah, I think that was more like this, because they were really into it, but they didn't attach me to a chair to to make me listen or anything like that. It was not like that, not torture, and I actually really enjoyed it, especially this song. There is this kind of orgasmic section in the middle. I kind of really I never heard anything like that, so it was really something else. And since then I really started listening to all sorts of music, and at the age of 14 my brother was playing in a rock band, was doing all sorts of things, kind of rock, hard rock even, and stuff like that, and I was really into that as well. And each time he was out, I was sneaking in his room and playing with his guitar basically. And so I started there, and at the age of 14, when he was fed up with it, I started learning for real. And I really wanted to. Basically, I was interested in records, in recording from the very beginning, in the production side of it. Things like, when they use these weird sounds, and how they were achieving these things. I was listening to Pink Floyd, as you might have concluded, to Led Zeppelin as well. I had some really good productions, and various bands like that. And I started listening to that, and at the time, my goal was to be a session musician. So to be a session musician, you need to learn to play anything, basically. So that's
Right.
what I started doing, and I learned by ear. I learned with methods, and I learned by playing with other musicians as well. So from the age of 14 to, I don't know, 21, 22, I did nothing but that, basically. And my parents obviously were very happy about it, but I was doing like
Your parents
8.
encouraged you to go into
No,
music?
they weren't.
No?
They thought that it was just a crazy thing, and it was basically because I was in the south of France. There was basically no way I could have found a good studio there and really be go anywhere with that. And I was really into performing. Even at the time, I was not into that. I was really into the production side of thing. I wanted to be a studio rat, and I was fascinated by that. And so later on, I bought some gear. I bought some 4 tracks, 8 tracks, cassette stuff, and started doing things like that. And at the time when there was synthesizers, I started working with that as well. So that's how it started, and I started recording all those things. And I still have tons of tapes of this period, basically, until the age of 30, basically.
Now, we do have a question in from Twitter. I wanna put up here. They want to know: do you ever record songs in French, and do you find it hard singing in English?
Right. Well, the fact is that I have never really liked French music. Honestly, I was not into that. It's a very different thing. French music, especially in the 70s, the 80s, 90s, even, it was very much lyrics oriented. Was more like poems, and with background music, and there's a rich cultural thing about what we call chanson à texte. It's singing songs, but basically very lyrics, and it should be poems, basically. So I was never into that. I was listening to, as I said, loads of English, British music, and loads of American music as well. And I started listening to progressive rock and to jazz as well, a lot of jazz. And the more I was learning, and the more I was into more sophisticated music and more advanced music in terms of harmony, especially, and improvisation. So jazz was something. But yeah, so basically, I never thought that French was such a good language to sing, and I still don't think it is. It's very different. And so in my ear, when I have a melody, the kind of sound that I hear when I write a song is basically English words, and then I try to make some kind of sense out of it. But basically, it's usually music first, and then there comes some kind of word sounds that I know should be there because they match what kind of feeling this song should be, and
Right.
so yeah, English is just feels more natural to me. Feels more musical as well. I'm much more I feel much more like a musician than I am a singer. I'm singing because no one does that. Where I haven't found the singer to sing the kind of song I do.
I gotta
but
tell you, I appreciate it because I can understand it, so it's all good. I'm also
Yeah,
fluent
that's it.
if you're interested in Pig Latin, by the way. So it's all good.
Pig
there, too.
Latin. Well, I learned Latin, and it was piggy. Yeah, that's for sure.
I got one more question before I throw it back to Mark, and that is that I know that we've spoke a couple of times before, and one of the things you mentioned to me, which I found interesting, was that you're a huge indie artist supporter. And what can you tell us about that in what you're trying to do for indie artists?
Well, the fact is that, let's be real. I'm 53. I don't show my face. The kind of music I do is far from being mainstream. So I'm going nowhere with that. Okay. I'm doing it because I love it. And I decided I can't live with it anymore. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. But honestly, it's not going to pay my bills. Right. And I'm fine with it. I kind of missed the train somehow, but I mean that's what it is, and so I know that I'm not going to be very successful with that, and I don't gig anyway, so you're not going to see me on stage. At least you're not going to see my frog on stage. It would be quite a feat. So there's no way I'm gonna get remotely successful with that. I try to share my music, and if people like it, then I'm happy about it, of course. But it's not a question of money for me. But that being said, I see a lot of good indie artists, talented artists who are young and who are trying to make a living out of it. And honestly, I feel when I see that they can't get a living out of it, it hurts. Basically, I feel for them, and I think that I want to do everything I can to help them to get there. At least get a decent living out of it. Which is not that easy nowadays. So I'm trying my best to help promote them. And I want to do more and more of that as I go along. So I've been, I'm always tweeting all sorts of other artists as well, but because I think that the more we share, and I act like I was acting when I was, a teenager, when I was in a group of friends, and we were digging some new albums that just came out, and we said, well. It was always about sharing music, and it was always about listen to this song, listen to this album, it's great, and you shared it with other people who were into music as well. So I'm doing that on the internet. I'm doing that on Twitter, especially on Facebook, maybe a little bit less because I'm less there, but I'm trying to share it, and so I'm doing that a lot. And I will continue to do that. And I've started doing some reviews as well to try and say what I like about such and such songs, because that can promote some artists that I like. And I'm also doing some things on KB Radio, for example. I'm doing a pick of the week once every Wednesday in the indie show. And all of this is to try and share music, basically, and to share the music that I like.
We need to hook you up with Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Get you
I know him.
in the
Of
music
course.
bus.
Oh, of course, I know him. Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing. Now I'm gonna toss it back over to Mark. I know he has some more questions. Mark, should we tell everybody about the new way to contact us or not?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. We have a new phone number now that actually people can call in to the show and join us live on the air. And there's the number right there.
They do need to understand that toll charges may apply. It is a U.S. phone number, a New York phone number. So if you want to call, you can call and ask your question directly to Ghostly Beard if you're so inclined. Or you can, tweet or over YouTube chat, whatever the case is. We have multiple ways of getting in touch with us.
If you for some reason can't see the number there, it's area code 347-985-0344. There you go. Call us. We'd love to hear from you. But right now, we're running a little bit on the late side. So we're going to go ahead and play your second song of the night, Patrick, which is No Return. And tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, No Return is it's a funny one because it came from I was doing a course online, a physics course online, and it was about Einstein's theory of relativity, and there was this animation of how it would feel or what it would look like if you were traveling close to the speed of light, and the closer you would go to travel to the speed of light, and the more distortion you would find, because the light itself couldn't reach you at the same time, right? So there was this animation where actually you could see that the more you traveled fast like that, and the more the past was actually distorted and seemed like it was in front of you, right? Which was quite fascinating. Like you would have passed through a building, and then suddenly, way after you've passed it, it's in front of you, right? And in the end, the more you go close to the speed of light, and the more everything is focused at the center in front of you, like some kind of bright light. And I thought it was a really very interesting picture and interesting animation. It's like and for me, it was kind of mystical thing. It's like you go through this journey, and somehow it looks like you go through this tunnel, and in front of you there's this light. So I'm not a religious person, but somehow it kind of resembles what people who have had these near-death experience say that they have been experiencing as well. So it's kind of intriguing. It was an intriguing idea. So I wrote about that, and it's kind of a trippy song as well. So there you go.
A trippy song. So I need to break out another.
I think so. Yeah. I'm afraid so. It's gonna get better and better as we go.
Maybe the room will start to spin. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, No Return by Ghostly Beard right here on Tuesdays Live. Take it, Rich.
Tying your own while you're dying.
No Return by Ghostly Beard and his companion frog. By the way, what's the name of your frog?
Well, his name is just Ghostly Beard. That's him.
Oh, that's him. He's
Well,
Ghostly Beard.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm just a sidekick.
He's kinda
Get your
freaking me
pictures
out.
now.
He's freaking me out because he's just staring at me.
I know. Since last time, especially when he was frozen, like,
Oh man.
right.
I was looking at your bio. You know, we kind of discussed this a little bit before we started the show, and
Mhm.
you have quite a list of influences, and one of them that stood out to me was Michael Franks. And not too many people would I choose Michael Franks as an influence, but I could see that. I was a fan of Michael Franks, and I can hear
Yes.
some of that.
Yes, well, especially in the because I've done the first EP that I've done was more like progressive rock. Like the two songs that we just played were more progressive rock, but the next one we're going to play is from the from the album, and the album itself is much more jazz oriented. And there are a couple of songs in there which are very influenced by this guy. I love this guy. He was great in the kind of lyrics and kinds of double entendre that he was using, and the kind of and he was surrounded by such big session musicians, people like Jeff Porcaro or Larry Carlton or people like that who played with him, from the beginning, and on all of these albums. There's so much huge jazz players, and jazz session musicians on all of these albums, and it's quite stunning music, honestly. And I have no idea why he's so underrated now, because I don't know. I'm still listening to this guy, and it's been a big influence on me. That's for sure.
Has he put out any music lately?
No, I think he's more or less retired. He's been doing. He's not even on. Well, I think he's on Facebook. I've seen him, but he's like spokesperson for animal, protection and stuff like that. Is but not really into music anymore. That's a shame. Yeah. But he's been there since. I don't know, the first album he did was like 71 or something like that, and even before that, and in the 70s and in the 80s he was quite big, actually. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people today, who as the younger folks, would probably go, Michael who?
Yeah. They need to check him out. Honestly, they need to check this music out. It's really great.
Hey, Rich, just curious, how long is the third song?
I can't tell you that, Mark.
Why? You tell me that is a secret.
It's something that nobody knows until we start the song.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
I think it's about 5 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
All right. In that case, we're going to go ahead and. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. I was saying that I usually do songs with a little bit of development to it, so I suppose it's around 5 minutes, something like that.
Okay. Well, the name of the song is Upper Hand, and
Yes.
it's off your latest album. So tell us a little bit about this one.
Okay, well, this one is easy. It's basically it's a battle of the sexes, right? And when you're married or when you are in couple with someone, there's always the question of who is getting the upper hand, and that's basically the question about this. And the question, and it's basically seen from after the relationship, and basically asking the question, why didn't you take me seriously? Because I wanted to get the upper end. That's the song.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's let the audience take a listen. It's called Upper Hand, and it's by Ghostly Beard right here on Tuesdays Live. Take it, Rich.
I won't tell you that I'm one of a kind. Oh no, I'm one step ahead and two behind. And nothing special in my petty life, I know. But could you see me with an open mind? I don't care about the ritz and the glitz, oh no. Don't care about the fame and the game. I don't mind, you said let's call it quits, so well. I'd like to think that I cared about you. You clearly thought that I was a fool. You took me for granted, but that is so uncool. I'll try my best to keep the upper hand. Tell me why it's so hard to understand. Believe that I've been holding you back. Have I? Looking forward and looking around. I took a while to really get back on track. Oh well, couldn't keep my feet so firm on the ground. You clearly thought that I was a fool. You took me for granted, and that is so uncool. Try my best to keep the upper hand. Tell me why it's so hard to understand. Together for a million years, it seems. All this time was not a walk in the park. Not that a world of such a disconnect. Oh well, let's turn the page and forget about that. You clearly thought that I was a fool. You took me for granted. Oh, that is so uncool. I'll try my best to keep the upper hand. Tell me why it's so hard to understand.
and that was Upper Hand, right? Yeah. So I lost my train of thought there for a second. Upper Hand by Ghostly Beard. And I wanted to tell you, my wife, Julie, she's in the other room watching the show on the big screen, like a 50-something inch TV we got out there. And she said she said she likes this song the best, that reminds her of Cat Stevens. And I found that pretty funny because actually Cat Stevens is one of your influences listed on your bio.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. Well, I've been listening to all these guys in the especially in the 70s, the 80s. It's really in my roots, and however far I want to go, is still I still get all this music from inside, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I forget what we were trying to figure it out off the air. If anybody remembers what Cat Stevens' current name is, feel free to tweet it.
Yeah, it's Yusuf something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, he changed his when he converted to Islam, I think. Yeah.
Carol has tweeted, says, "Thank you for sharing your musical journey. It's great to know that you enjoy what you do, and you're an inspiration to all true musicians." Wow.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Carol. That's very nice of you to say.
I can tell you it is Yusuf Islam.
Nice. Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We have got to wrap things up. Unfortunately, this hour went by really quick as usual. I know. I know. The frog looks shocked. Like, oh my God, where did the time go? What the heck?
Yeah.
He's giving me that. What you talking about? Look. All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Patrick, for giving us a second shot and having you on the air, and it worked this time.
Yeah, it worked this time, and thank you actually to allow me to come back. It was quite a disaster. Thanks to you both and to Carol and to you to allow me to get back and actually speak for this time. Or my frog.
Yeah, have your frog do the talking for you. I know.
Exactly.
Does he cook and do dishes too?
I'd like that.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly. You're giving me some ideas now.
Definitely send me one of those frogs if it ends up working for you.
Yeah.
All right, Rich. Anything you'd like to say before we say goodnight to Patrick?
Now, I too would like to thank Patrick, and like I said, he and I have talked a number of times off air, and really enjoyed talking to him each and every time. And of course, I certainly, definitely want to get you and Walter in touch with each other, because I think you guys could team up and work well together.
Yes, I agree, and I know Walter, and I know how hard is working at helping indies, and of course we've had a few conversation already on the, and I hope that we can find some ways to work together. I'm all for that. That's for sure.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Real quick, my daughter was watching the show too, and she says to tell you bonjour.
Oh, bonjour. What's her name?
Her name is Maya.
Oh, bonjour Maya. Je suis très content que tu aimes la grenouille ici qui te dit bonsoir et à bientôt.
Okay. She's 11 years old. That'll take her some time to figure out what that meant, but
that's what French lessons are for.
All right. Well, thanks again, Patrick, for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, next week we have this week we had the French. Next week we got the Italians. We have an Italian band joining us, and you'll have to forgive me because it looks like the name of the band is FLEMT. On the other hand, it could be Flemt. I don't know if it's an initial or if it's an actual word, but I guess we'll find out. Yes. Yeah. And they'll be joining us next week, same station, same time. And on that note, what do you think, Rich? Anything else?
Nothing other than to say good night to Carol, of course.
Good night, Carol.
Good night.
We will see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Tuesdays Live. We're going to go ahead and close out the show with a song by next week's Italian band. It's called In My Dreams. You all have a great night and Happy New Year to all you. Make it a great one.
And that thing.
Looking through the window of glass, the light of a new day. The town, it seems another. I know I've found a way. I think to my past, I'm here on my own. I live the pain I've never known. But now something has changed my life. I remember the summer, the best I've ever had. Your sweet words, your sweet eyes, you and me are lives ahead. When I'm alone and sitting in my room, I feel I still hope to see you soon. You struck me right inside my heart. I miss you when you're apart. I feel a strange and new sensation. Feel me, hear what I'm saying. You are a sun ray, you warm up all my days. You've changed me, you rearranged my life. I feel like walking through the clouds up in the sky. When the night comes, I'm alone, but when I sleep, I meet you again, 'cause you're walking in my dreams. The days we spent together have colors I've never seen. You're the star that got the curse. You just know what I mean. Please forgive me if I hurt you at all. I will be there if you're sad, if you fall. You're the love I've never had. You struck me right inside my heart. I feel a strange and new sensation. Feel me, hear what I'm saying. You are a sun ray, you warm up all my days. You changed me, you rearranged my life. I feel like walking till the clouds up in the sky. When the night comes, I'm alone. you gamer, you're always walking in my dreams.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.